See, I told you I'd be back. So this is part 2 of the first look at my Galapagos images. Remember last time we looked at various things. We made some booby jokes. And some crab jokes. And the last picture we looked at was a very nice crab. So we're going to look at some more crabs right now. A bit of arty crab. What I did here, I took down the exposure. Same kind of position really, but slightly above, looking down, and this is a 15th of a second, and it's handheld. Now, handheld is a lot of trouble, of course, because A, you want to get it sharp, and B, the problem is that the crab gets buffeted by the water a little bit. So the crab, you can stay really still, and you can get a picture that's out of focus because the crab gets buffeted by the water. And you can do these pictures in this country. We have loads of things by the seashore that you can do this kind of really cool stuff with. So here, what I did, I set the composition so that I watched the way the water went over the crab, and set the composition so that I had the most flowy water at the bottom there, with the crab there with the nice water coming off of it. All those wonderful light effects you can see are a result of shooting at a 15th of a second. They're weird and wonderful on the water. It looks like somebody's electrified the water, which wouldn't be great for the crab or me. I just like it because it's a bit different and it's worth taking the chance. And once again, I've made a load of people try this and just said, listen, take 100 pictures to get one. And when you're doing these slow shutter speeds handheld, you are really taking a lot of pictures to try and just get one. But I think I got one here and I quite like it. It's not too bright on the crab. It's just got a really nice flow to it, and I hope you do too. With a flourish. Oh, all right, it's raining crab. Hallelujah, it's raining crab. Okay, yes. Well, anyway, yeah, it's one of these times when the crab was down low again. It's actually the same picture as the one second before last that you saw where he was lying flat. I've changed my angle, and as I changed my angle, the most enormous wave came over us. It was a freak wave. Came down. I just happened to be focused on the crab and shooting. I think it was about a 30th or maybe a 60th of a second. You can tell there's not much sharp on the water there, so it's kind of blurring. Trust me, it was a pretty big wave that came over both of us. And I managed to keep it. This is the only one I've got because once it hit him, it buffeted him and almost knocked him off the rock, poor thing. I can see there's a dust spot on there. Look, I'm going to have to do something about that again. What a mullet. Do look at your pictures at 100% when you edit, but you can tell it's a really nice effect of this rain coming down, or water. And I said earlier on that I am shooting more creatively these days than I have for a long time, and I get to the feeling that I'm just thinking more about the pictures because I want to show something very different and something very unusual. So a nice crab picture there, again handheld. Talking of atmosphere and crabs, whoa! We saw this one. This is at Porto Gas, and a few of us. I was with Dr. Vegan and a couple of others, and we saw this going on. I kind of turned round, and I just saw this amazing black lava rock with this crab right against it. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't facing me, doing its, pincers in the air, which they do as a bit of a dance and a bit of a threat. It's quite good, actually. I'll have you, my old son. That's Cockney again. He wasn't doing that. He was kind of on the side, but I kind of liked that eye and the way the eye was against the black. I thought that stood out really well. So I focused on that eye. I took a lot of pictures to get this because focusing on that was actually quite difficult. It's amazing with crabs how difficult it is to get the eye actually in focus. Very selective depth of field. I played with my apertures quite a lot, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to use the maximum zoom, minimum aperture to throw everything out of focus. So 5.6 on the 100 to 400 at 400 on the 5D4. ISO 800 it would have been, and it would have been minus 2/3 to -1 to bring out the colours. You can see again from the eye, the sun is very low on the horizon. That's the key here. These colours are natural. I have not shot. I shot in a landscape picture style. So maybe a little bit more saturated than normal, but this is on a daylight white balance, not cloudy or shade, so they are natural colours. Composition, stick it at the bottom, give it plenty of room to breathe, and let people enjoy it and work out actually what it is. Because if I hadn't have told you it was a crab, would you have got it? Yeah, okay, you probably would have. You knew it's not a zebra or a giraffe or something, but it might have taken a few of you a bit of a while to get it. And that's the whole point of pictures. Sometimes we want to engage. I want you to say to me, Andy, what's that picture? Because I can say buy it for 60 quid and I'll tell you. Right, here we go. next one. Oh! Shoots, scores, winner, victory, victory. Sheepy and Ted doing victory. They're my travel companions. Hey, sit there, you two. Oh my God. Oh my God. When I got this, do you know what? I haven't felt like this about a picture for a long time. When I got this, I was virtually screaming inside. I couldn't scream outside because it's Galapagos. We were all spread out on the shore, on the lava, all doing different cool stuff. The guys, I've got some amazing pictures of that, but a lot of people were doing crabs because it was a really beautiful place to do crabs. I just laid down, I saw this light developing in the last 5 minutes. I hadn't got anything for the 3 hours before that. I wandered around and not seen what I want. I seem to come alive when this light is at its picture falling off there. When this light is at its best, and I came alive totally just at the right time. I laid down. I thought, you know what? Something's happening on the water out there. I can see the way the sun is rippling on it. I may get some bokeh there. Sure enough, I got the bokeh and the crab appeared, and oh my God, I think that is every bit as good as the grebe I've got. Will it do as well? Well, it couldn't do worse. I mean, the grebe I got that had bokeh got highly commended in British Wildlife Photography of the Year, and because of that, I couldn't enter it anywhere else. So this one will be entered in some big competitions next year because I like it. How do you create the bokeh? You can't. It just happened. You have to be there. It's the first or last rays of the sun. A long lens, so 100 to 400 on 400 or 500 or something will give you this. A shorter lens generally won't. I shot it at -3 stops compensation to make the crab black and to not burn out. You can see there's some highlights on the left there that are a little bit annoying. They're slightly too bright. There's some at the top as well, but I just painted over those with a tiny 5% orange brush and just toned those down a bit. But it's the crab looking into that that's good. Of course, it would have been better if it had been going, yes, my sunset, but it didn't. So I can only do, I can only take what I get. Luckily, it's got a lovely rim around it. I accentuated the contrast on the rim as well, and shooting with a landscape picture style makes a really big difference. I shot in shade white balance to accentuate the colours. I think the dark area on the right is quite good. I quite like that. And the bokeh just everywhere else. The composition, well, I kind of like these stuff at the bottom here and the flow on the right hand side of the water. I really like that. I really think it's cool. And yeah, I just love it. And I think you can tell, and I hope that you love it too. Now, I've always said that there are several pictures within one, right? And this is certainly no exception. This is another one I've been playing with to look at something slightly different, maybe for a print, something a bit arty. So you can see that I took that initial picture. I'll go back to it, and that's the one I'm very proud of, and I'm going to enter, and that's the one as shot. But I've also been playing around with some different colours and some different concepts using Topaz Adjust. Not quite there yet. It's in development, but I think it'll be quite an interesting picture when I get an arty version of it. So I encourage you to always look in depth. All right. Oh, that's crabs. I've got lots more crabs to come. No. A bit of feather action here. I have to say this time I wasn't the best bird photographer on the Galapagos. I'm not quite sure why. I just wasn't. I was more into other stuff like the crabs and some other things you're going to see in a minute. But this one really caught my eye as the last time. Literally, it's quite late in the morning, i.e. 8:30. We were all going to head back, and I was just in the second group, because you're in groups there, obviously I have to split. And I was just with a few people, and I just saw this frigate sitting there, catching the light. And I said to everyone, guys, let's just wait. Let's just look at this a minute. And luckily, it being Galapagos, it was calm enough to sit there while I stood quite close, angling my lens around its feathers at the top to try and get the best look on it. I didn't just take the straight picture, because you have no idea where a bird was sitting at what angle. So I angled my camera to try and get the best image where it flows out of the left. You get these lovely feathers of the head, which by the way is out of the frame on the left. And then flowing to these amazing green feathers on the back. I mean, look at the colours of those. Yes, it's very arty, but very arty is good, because a straight picture of a frigate bird is not something that you're really going to put on your wall anywhere. It's certainly not, but this might be something more interesting. So I shot it at -3. I focused right in the center, literally just as the head feathers come down and touch the back feathers. Depth of field of f16, because you've got a lot of depth going on there between the left and the right. So f16 depth of field to get it all in focus. -3 exposure, 5d4, 100 to 400, you got it. And I think it works quite well. I'm not known for my abstracts, but I really like that. Yes, it's not more pictures, it's me again, because yet again, time flies when you're having fun. It's another 10 minutes have gone. Oh my God, these videos are getting so long because I'm waffling. I hope it's useful information. So what I've decided to do is split this one up again. I don't want to chew up your time, basically. And I'll post it in another week. The remainder, 3, 4, 5 images. Let's see how we go on that. So I hope you've enjoyed all the lessons so far in this one, and particularly the crabs. You know, shooting backlit is very cool and a great thing to do, but also shooting abstracts, you know, like I did with the frigate bird. It really, really does work to kind of look at pictures in a very, very different way. So until next time, bye from Rouse HQ.